signal already.
Okay, folks, good evening, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started here. The Red Cross is having some air conditioning problems, and whatever was running over there just kicked off, so. But anyhow, I'm Chris, KU4A. We'll go ahead and introduce headed that way.
Upstairs. Bob Cooper, AF4OI.
Glenn, AK4Y.
That's what I'm gonna try
Linda,
to do.
AK4GZ.
We'll pass Smokey. Mark, KB4FEE.
David, KG4JDY.
Let's try this again.
Bruce, KM4EHU.
Someone just shouted in my ear and I couldn't hear you.
Martin, KM4HBK.
Bill, N4DIT, I think.
I next.
Yeah.
Yep.
JB, WA4WWH.
And the videographer is Brad, WA4HDM, so that takes us around the
No
circle.
hyphen or anything?
Okay, we were so busy last month that I forgot about, birthdays, sick bay, upgrades or anything like that. Anybody with a birthday in June or July?
I was good.
Care to be any more specific than that?
I'll be 74.
July 29th.
July 29th.
July 29th.
Is that specific enough?
Okay. Any other June, July birthdays?
I'm good.
Roger is sometime, but I don't remember exactly.
This is in August.
Yeah, okay.
Our first.
And there's okay, I'll go ahead and put you down, Tim.
Well, I'm gonna get back to this one.
We got JB over here. I think he's got a birthday.
Yeah, I had a birthday in June.
Okay,
That's cool.
okay. Okay, how about anybody that you know of that's not feeling well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're getting better.
Yeah, we're getting better.
Uphill.
Harry Sparks.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's doing better.
Yeah.
He had gallbladder and hernia surgery. I think his hernia surgery was to repair an old surgery.
Mhm.
So, the last I heard was he was recovering at home. Haven't heard anything else.
Yeah, I think I saw something on Facebook about him. I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, well, somebody wrote in there, somebody else on Facebook with the same name passed away. But I don't think Harry did, so I'm gonna get in touch with him this next week or the week after.
We've been on a cruise, it was like before I left, Bill was off. So.
You probably
Bill
got
Fiedler,
cruise
yeah.
track.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I won't go. My girlfriend wants to go, and I said, you take your daughter or something, I'm not going.
It's wonderful.
You got the cruise track.
It's really nice.
Alrighty, okay, so we're done with birthdays, and anybody else with sick bay? Anybody that you know that, yeah.
Me in general, because my whole digestive system's all wonky.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I have IBS, but like, it's just, the whole thing's just going even worse now.
Yeah, I had a bad
And
meter for
migraines,
stuff,
too.
but I think mine's mostly straightened out on probiotics, so.
And also my migraines as well. I mean, we're trying to, the migraines are less now that I'm on a daily medication, but it probably doesn't help sometimes transmitting. Well, I'm not sure what the ERP is from that antenna, but it's a J-pole like 10 feet away.
Bill,
Well, if it starts to bother you, you better.
I don't feel any different when I transmit, but like I don't get any headaches from it either, so I don't know if it's that or so I don't know what's going on.
That would do your head some good.
Chris,
Yeah.
Bill was in the hospital.
Bill Fuqua?
No.
Bill DeVore? Okay. Where did he go?
Last week in June, I think he said he had some kind of inner ear problem.
Oh, okay.
Still not completely over it.
Okay.
Glenn's mom was in the hospital.
Who's?
For Glenn's mom.
Okay.
Their mom, but she's.
One of my friends, she's interested in the ham radio stuff, but she hasn't been able to make it to the meetings, and I've been trying to. she's got some issues with her brain and stuff.
Well, I'd say anybody knows you, might have that information.
I wouldn't say no.
He just throws a hanging curveball.
Well, she has TBI, so she doesn't care if anybody knows that. She said I could say that, but she fell again, and
Oh, wow.
she fell and hit her head, and she's recovering from that again. So just keep her in her thoughts.
Okay. How about, like up there, or did you have something else, Smokey?
Yeah, I just talked to Alan Martin on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing better. He broke his foot, and we think he broke it downstairs.
Oh, wow.
Slipped on those steps about a year and a half ago. And I just got off the phone with him. I had to go down and get this thing to see if I could get this thing out. But he's doing better. He said that the cast comes off. He's going to physical therapy. So I just thought I'd mention that. His call sign's KV4YB. So, okay.
Yeah, appreciate it. How about, like upgrades? Anybody upgrading or anything like that?
Wish I could upgrade my brain because of my brain.
Kyle Craven's upgraded to an extra,
Okay.
and his girlfriend Rena got her call, but I don't know what it is yet, but she got technician class license the same day that Martin did his Boy Scout merit test.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, Artie, well, we got a bunch of show and tell. So,
Yes.
Bob, why don't you go ahead and start with yours, and then Martin's got a whole table full over there.
Actually, some of it I'm not showing because I've already shown.
Okay.
Some of it is packed along.
In the lunch queue too.
Oh, yeah, I'll get the lunch, sure.
Add that too, yeah, let's see if we can get on.
Okay, what I brought with me here tonight is one of my QRP CW transceivers. Does anybody know what an SW40 is?
No.
There's one guy so far. You know what it is. SW40. It's
The old SW40?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, this radio here is about 20 years old. It's a kit radio that Dave Benson, a famous QRP designer, electronics expert, he kitted a bunch of radios. Probably he retired probably about 10 years ago, and this radio is still available, still in production. And I'll go through what it is, but basically he was a heavy designer and kitted all kinds of CW radios, also did some PSK radios, and they were all QRP type things, all single circuit board type things. This one here has got a circuit board in it that's 4 inches by 3 inches, and you buy the kit, you buy that circuit board and the parts come with it, and then it's up to you to put it in a case and put all the knobs on it and so on. But it's a very well designed radio, and it's still you can still buy it. It's a super heterodyne. It has a 500 hertz IF crystal in it. It has an audio amplifier that is powerful enough for headphones, and if you want something more, you have to add a AF amplifier. And that's what I did here, and I've got a volume control on that. I used an LM380 integrated circuit, and I can get like 2 watts of audio out, which is enough to fill this whole room. And I use that with my resonant tuned CW speaker, and works real well. The other thing I added to this is the 10-turn pot. The radio is tuned by a variac diode, rather than a capacitor. And this 10-turn dial here spreads out the band, and it's really, really easy to use. It's real nice. The other thing I have here is an RF gain knob. Another thing here is AF filter. Does anybody have AF filter on any of their radios? Well, basically, if you have a radio that has DSP, you probably don't need it. But any radio that does not have the DSP in it could use an AF filter. And basically what that is all about is I can switch it in and switch it out. When I'm listening to a CW signal, like most radios, you'll hear a lot of hiss and all kinds of noise and so on. You throw this switch and it gets rid of a lot of that hiss. So basically it quietens that signal down. What it does, the radio has got a 500 hertz filter in it. Like many radios, you can buy a 500 hertz filter for CW purposes. And this is a CW radio, so don't forget that. But anyway, so the signal comes through the radio through that 500 hertz filter, and it comes to your speaker. Well, you have one more opportunity to filter out hiss and noise, and that is in the AF section of your radio. So that's what this filter does. It gives you one more chance to filter out noise out of the signal before it reaches your ear. You've probably heard of the K2, Elecraft K2. They offer this AF type filter in that radio, and that's a very good radio. So I've got that in this radio, and it quietens it down. It makes it real nice.
Easy on the ear.
Easy on the ears. This is, with all these extras, it's really, really nice. Makes this a lot more user friendly. The other thing is, you see this little green light right above the green LED right above the 10-turn tuning dial. What that is a CW tuning indicator. So if I'm tuning across the band and I hear a CW signal, I tune that, and as you know, his signal goes up in tone and down in tone as you go by his signal. Well, I tune this until that light comes on, and that tells me that I'm right on his transmitting signal. So when I go back and transmit to him, I'm not way off one way or another. With QRP, if you can hit him straight on, it's like hooking that fish. It's a lot easier to hook the fish if you throw that hook in right where the fish is at, rather than throwing it somewhere else. So if you're not on that, you really don't have a good way of knowing where his signal is. I mean, you can try by ear, but if you're off 200 hertz, he may have a 200 hertz filter in there, and you're off out nowhere, and he doesn't hear you. So that's what that little light is for. I put that circuit in. It uses a LM567 tone decoder integrated circuit. It's a circuit I built and installed in the radio. There's 5 different circuits that I've added onto this CW transceiver. Does any of your old radios, CW radios, have like a spot button or any kind of a spot or any way of tuning on to that guy you're trying to contact? And I know your KX3's got an automatic deal. You push a button and it goes boom, right to his signal, so you're not going to miss it. Is there anybody that does CW in here? Okay, we got 3 guys. So if sometimes you're tuning across the dial and you have to guess where to put your signal, this takes the guesswork out of it. So if you try to contact somebody and for some reason he's not coming back to you, it's likely if you're too far one way or another. Out of his passband, exactly right. So if you're struggling making contacts, that could be one of the biggest problems you could have. If you don't have some kind of method to know where to adjust your signal relative to where he's at. Anyway, if anybody's interested in this, I'd be glad to show you more. The other thing, I've got this little red button here. inside this radio is an iambic keyer. I can hook my paddles, the paddles I brought in last month. I can plug them right into this radio, and inside here is an iambic keyer, and I can program that keyer. I can change the speed of the signal, speed of the code, and other things. It has memory in it and so on, so I can program it for something that I would like to, do C for CQ and my call sign. I can just hit the button. So that's all built into this radio. In the back here, I've got a bunch of ports for. I've got one for a straight key. I can plug in a straight key back here. I can also plug in my computer. My logging software can trigger this radio off of the logging software program. And so I can hook my computer to this radio to key the radio. The other thing is where I'll plug in my iambic paddles right there. And then over here is a speaker port where I can plug in my speaker. My speaker is a resonant CW speaker that oscillates or resonates at around 600 hertz. So when I'm listening to his signal, that speaker like comes alive. I mean, it just really comes alive. And of course, got a power connection, and my antenna connects here. I have my antenna is I have a coax cable over to a balanced line tuner, which is a little different than your normal tuner. It's a balanced line tuner made for ladder line or window line. I always use ladder line or window line because the loss in it is like 10 times less loss than in a coax. And when you're working QRP, you don't want to have a whole lot of loss on your coax going up to your antenna, so I always use ladder line or window line up to my 40-meter dipole. And with that setup, it'll work on any frequency. The tuner can adjust and take care of the impedance issues. The tuner itself has a LC tank in it, which will resonate, if you will, and transform that impedance, and really works good with ladder line. So that in a nutshell, this is a 20-year-old radio, and I'll always keep it. It's with all these changes here, it's made it really a nice little radio, and I can't really tell any difference. It's a very sensitive radio, and I can't tell. I'm sure with the proper equipment, you can measure the sensitivity on it, but listening to it, you can't hardly tell the difference between this and my SDR or a Kenwood or whatever. So,
Okay, thanks, Bob. We're gonna have to move on here.
I have a question for
yeah.
him. Doesn't Vectronics still make that SN40? Doesn't Vectronics still make it?
they never did make it.
That's what I heard.
SW40 is made by Dave Vincent, was designed by Dave Vincent.
I know they had something they called,
It's-
that's not they called it. I can't get online to find it, but they had another one that's kind of like that one.
Well, yeah, they have.
That was 20 years old.
But this one was 20 years old. It's a 20-year-old design. That's what it
It's
says.
called SW40.
I think they did.
They got version 1, 2, and 3, A, B, and C.
Well, there's a lot of 40-meter QRP radios.
Yeah, I know, but when I was,
MFJ's got a 40-meter.
but when I was teaching down in, Military Institute, the guy that donated the radio for that down there, he worked for Vectronics. And he sent up, and that's where I saw that number. Okay, it was in a kit that he had sent out for the kids up there. One of them actually built that. So it took him about 5 days.
Okay, good deal. Before we get over to Martin, I had written down about the luncheon, so Linda had to remind me. I'm going to recommend Thursday, July 27th for the luncheon because we're having a late meeting this month. and then the August meeting isn't until the 7th. So to try to split that time, July 27th. So for anybody that's interested in coming to the luncheon, does July 27th work for you? Okay. So moved, seconded, and voted.
Harrisburg, right?
Yeah, it's a Harrisburg Road since it's an odd numbered month. Okay. Now, Martin, do you want to tell us about what show and tell you've got? And
Yes.
stand up if needed, or pass around whatever you want to pass around.
So I've talked on the radio quite a bit, the 9-4 repeater, about my capstone. I just recently got in a TNC for the Raspberry Pi. I'll be passing this around. I don't have the chips in it right now, but I'm still working on it. I'm soldering it together. I got 2 new hacker boxes, 2 because I was not able to make it to the meeting last month. The hacker box that I got this month is for a badge that you can make for the DEF CON, which is a hacker convention over in Las Vegas every summer, and the capstone is a portable APRS station for search and rescue operations. That since most of those guys have their amateur radio license, have a Raspberry Pi with touchscreen and Bluetooth keyboard that folds up, and that's about it right now. I'm waiting on the GPS. Any questions?
If anybody wants to go over and have a look, feel free to, or after the bar's meeting or whatever. Okay, good deal. Alrighty, well it's about 7:24, so we do have a few minutes left. Does anybody, well, first of all, how about field day? What did people do for field day? I operated 1E battery, QRP from home as usual, and I had about 180 cubes coming up to the about an hour and a half to go, and until my tri-bander crapped out again. Bill DeVore fixed it for me about 10 years ago, and now I think the coax is pulled loose again. So, but pretty good conditions, I thought. Anybody else do field day?
Yeah, 20 times QRP. At the usual spot there at Veterans Park.
Okay.
Me and David were the ones that managed to stay up all night.
Oh, okay. Better you young guys than people like me.
I wasn't awake the next day, I tell you, I was hurting. But
I was out there with them till 2 in the morning.
yeah, he was close third. But
Yeah, but all of you are younger than me. So.
it worked out pretty good. I brought the van, and we had the beam up on the pneumatic mast, and then David's trailer has a real nice fold-down desk. So we sat in there, which was good because it got rather cold that night.
Yeah.
So,
That's not mine.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, anything else? Other field work. Interesting operating. Interesting QRP QSOs. Yeah.
I don't know if this counts, but I was in Richmond. I was using my Yagi, my portable Yagi up on top of Commonwealth. Well, it was technically through the 9-4 repeater. This guy, I can't remember what his call sign, but he confirmed it on QRZ. I think he was like in Menifee County or something like that, or it started with M. But he was 40 miles away from the repeater, and I was down in Richmond, and we were talking to each other.
Okay. Anything else in the way of QRP QSOs? Okay. Yes, sir.
I think it was last week I was down in Tennessee with a friend of mine, my minister, And the guy that we visited was a ham radio operator, and he built this small, I swear this thing was no bigger than his Raspberry Pi, 40-meter radio. And he had it in a little plastic box he made with at their library. They have the same thing here, that they can make boxes with 3D printer. He made the box, he designed the box, put it in it. We used his Yagi. We got 3 or 4, before I left, we got 3 or 4 contacts out of it. And it's single sideband, it wasn't phone. But you could use it on CW and at single sideband. It had a one switch that did that, and then you tuned it with a pot in the front. It was a very interesting little radio. Now, like I said, it was no bigger than this. He's planning on going summits on the year next year.
And everybody's ringing off those tonight.
Okay, new, yeah, well, that sort of started us on new radios or different radios. Anybody with new radios, kits?
I got a whole bunch of kits.
Build or just?
Yeah, to build.
Oh, okay.
I just run into some really cheap ones online, and Linda was away, and so I got into compulsive buying and just
Well, didn't you say it was your birthday here pretty soon? Well, you're just buying your birthday present. You're sparing her the trouble.
Yeah, BidX. I got a BidX 40 and a BidX 20.
No,
I got the BidX 24 and BidX 40 kit. And I got 2 or 3 little small kits.
that's the one with the Raspberry Pi Zero
Stuff.
Hey, they work for you now, William?
That last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is stuff to work on this winter?
Yeah, stuff, anytime I get started on it.
Okay, good deal. Okay, 7:29, so let's wrap things up, and Smokey can take over. And good meeting tonight. Thanks everybody for coming out. And we will see you, hopefully see some of you on the 27th at Frisch's, and then the August meeting is August the 7th.